Hello. Uh, if you are watching this, I should tell you that it's got spoilers for the TSM day of groups. I have not. Well, first off, this video is brought to you by Alienware. Thank you, Alienware. I have. I don't have an interview for you today. I don't have one from this day of groups. I requested some and got denied by everybody, and that's been happened a couple times. Or at least I'm getting a lot of denies this year at Worlds. I don't know if it's the format or what the deal is, or if it's the COVID or the remote, or probably a combination of all these things. But it's been a tough Worlds to cover, and I apologize if there's content that you are not seeing on the channel. I think I did a video, I don't think very many people watched it, talking about just warning that might be a thing. So hopefully it doesn't come as a surprise to anybody, although I've been super down about it. I always want to do cool content for you. Anyway, because there's not going to be any video here, and I don't have an interview with TSM after what happened, I figured I would just talk about it for 10 minutes. Just, I don't know, mind dump into this video, and who knows how many will watch it. So TSM have now gone 0-6. It is 6:30 a.m. So this happened pretty recently. I've stayed up all night. And I mean, I think we all knew they weren't going to get out of groups, especially after that first day. After that first week. And we knew going into today, they'd have to win all 3 of their games in order to even stand a chance. So when they lost that first one, they're 0-4 at that point in time, and they were not going to go through. Now, what's crazy about this is that then they lost the next 2 games. They went 0-6. And obviously, it's unlikely that the team is going to look great after they've already been eliminated. But Mark tweeted out something, which is that this is the first time a Pool 1 seed and the number 1 seed from a major region went 0-6. The only other time it was close was 2017, Pool 1, Flash Wolves, who went 1-5, picking up a single win against TSM. So I think it's safe to say that this is the worst performance North America's ever had at Worlds by a team, in part because, we've had other teams that haven't won anything, like when Clutch went last year. But, when you're a 3rd seed and you make it through play-ins, expectations are a little lower, and you are in you're in a group with teams that are stronger than you. And that's the whole point, is that you're supposed to be in a group with teams that are stronger than you because you came in through a lower pool and you're facing off against at least one 1st seed from a major region. TSM, we're our 1st seed, and again, we're Pool 1. So, I don't know. I was talking to Mark a little bit about it. We were watching the games, and this group, there's not a great excuse for not picking up a win in this group. At least 1. Hopefully 2, maybe even 3. Because this group does not have a tournament favorite in it. Now, I don't know, maybe one of these teams will turn around and win the whole thing. And it'll be like, oh, okay. In retrospect, they were facing off against 2 amazing teams. But there's no top esports. There's no damn one in this group. And I guess the skill level of these teams is probably supposed to be kind of average across the board. Not to say they are average skilled teams, but rather the skill level is pretty even between all these different teams. I think a lot of folks would say, or should say. It is not like a group of death, for instance. And what is really surprising about this situation is a lot of people went into Worlds thinking that TSM was probably the best team that we were sending for this meta, because we knew that all the teams were playing faster than us. If you didn't know this, you didn't watch episode of Run It that we did. Good. You should go check it out. It's why I think it's something like why NA plays different than all the other regions. Where we talked about the playstyle, and we knew that like perhaps LCS would be vulnerable to these teams that play faster and play through topside more. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, TSM is the closest we got to that, right? You had like TL who super slow. And so to see them go 0-6 is pretty disappointing. It's also just tough when you have Bjergsen and Doublelift, who, look, I know there are people who like to hate on these players. Obviously, Peter's my friend. But they still represent a lot of the, I don't know, symbolic strength of North America, right? These players have been playing for a long time. I get that, but both of them have picked up a lot of trophies, MVP titles, etc. They are the two most popular players. And so to see both of them, I think, play pretty disappointingly at Worlds is a big bummer. And it's tough because every year I end up in this situation. You know, like it's almost okay that for me that I didn't get a Doublelift interview this year after their loss, because I've interviewed them so many times after these losses, and like, what else is there to say now? But it's still really disappointing to see how this all goes. And I think one thing I do want to point out is that, look, NA is not as good as the other three major regions at Worlds. I do not think it is fair. Let's not use fair. I don't think it is analytically sound to look at this and say, well, North America sucks. Like, I think you should look at this and say TSM sucks. Because just 2 days ago, we had Team Liquid, who was one game away from forcing a 3-way tiebreaker for first in their group if they'd beaten Machi. And they also came in and stomped plans. So a lot of people are going to say, hey, maybe North America shouldn't get a 3rd seed. They should only have 2 seeds, and you know, the 2nd should go through plans or something. It's not like if you had sent a different team, like, let's put it this way. Mad Lions, for instance, the 4th seed from Europe, did not get through. This is not a world where it seems like, oh, if we just had a different team than Team Liquid, and the tournament would be much better. It's like, actually, Team Liquid was pretty competitive in their group as a 3rd seed, and they clearly showed that they were better than the teams that they played in play-ins. So I think it's smart to isolate this as at least this 0-6 record as a TSM problem. I get it. You are rushing to the YouTube comments right now to try to explain to me how North America is bad. I get it. I agree that we are not as strong. What I'm saying is that TSM 0-6 performance is not representative of just how bad we are. If that makes sense. Anyway, I don't know. Hopefully at least me rambling and talking about how disappointing this is, and like, hopefully you can relate at least a little bit to this. If you're watching at home, if you stayed up all night to see them go 0-6, if you had your hopes up, if you heard all the analysts saying things like, you know, I think LS predicted them to go 0-6 on Hotline League. If you heard all that and you thought, oh, there's no way. You know, I thought there was a decent chance NA wouldn't get out of groups this year. I know we haven't had FlyQuest play their final day yet, but definitely would not have predicted it to be this bad. And I don't know what what we do from here. But I will say, I'm going to try to do some content coming up soon and dive into the subject a little bit. We'll see if I can get the right guests or whatever to talk about it, but it sucks. I know it sucks. You know it sucks. There's not much more to say. Thanks for watching.
So I'm going to be honest, it's not going great for NA at Worlds this year. And I figured, we're always talking about growing talent. Why not journey out into the heartland of the US where we grow all sorts of stuff to see if we can, I could find the next crop of NA talent out here in these beautiful fields. Anyway, thank you so much to Alienware and DraftBuff for sponsoring our Worlds coverage. They're, helping me out here find the talent. And they're also giving away some stuff. Alienware has a link in the description below. And DraftBuff as well. Great stuff over there. Click the Alienware one. You're gonna get some cool stuff. All right, you can sign up. There's a giveaway. We're doing it anyway. All that stuff is on there. Also, take a look at some of the things that we're using. The gear is listed there. Also, you can use Travis 10 off Q3 in order to save 10% on your order.